Welcome to another fantastic episode of Small Business Celebration Meat and Potatoes Live, the show where we dive deep into one particular subject or idea with our guests so that you can learn something you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business and get your next big breakthrough. And at the time of this recording, it is live, so feel free to go ahead and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Producer Emily is going to be monitoring those comments. And she'll go ahead and listen, and whatever your comments are, including how are your Dodgers doing? I mean, I'm not a Giants fan, but I've got to think that they're doing better than the Giants. I don't know. But anyway, in order to do that, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Kevin Oliver with Oliver and Associates. At Oliver & Associates Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a home isn't just a transaction, it's a life moment. That's why they're committed to building relationships that last. They take the time to truly understand your needs, your dreams, your stories, so they can find you not just a house, but a home. Give Oliver Associates a call at 661-808-3444 or check them out at yourrealtor.us today. Today's Meat and Potatoes live episode location is brought to you by Modern Gigi Gallery, an ultra-modern art gallery located in downtown Bakersfield, California, featuring the artworks of the modern abstract artist Johnny Ramos. Whether you're looking for artwork for your office, your home, or a postcard that you can send as a thank you note, go to Modern Gigi Gallery, located at 900 18th Street in Bakersfield, or give them a call at 661-840-8729, or email them at art@moderngigi.com today. We're here with Jon Busby, the owner of Team Busby Real Estate Team. Welcome to Small Business Celebration Meat and Potatoes Live.
How are you doing?
And for visioners who don't know who are you and what is it that you do?
Jon Busby with Team Busby in Bakersfield, California. We sell real estate here in Kern County.
How many years have you been in the real estate business?
Actually, 35 years this coming May.
So I think this is when you have the party to celebrate, I'll bring the champagne and the confetti, and we'll have some fun with that. Yep. But being in real estate today is very different than it was 35 years ago.
No, it's much different than what it was.
A lot of business owners are a little afraid right now, especially with all the chaos that seems to be going on with the tariffs, even though the stock market is up and unemployment numbers are down, and the interest rate's just gone up by 1/8%.
That's correct. I verified it the other day, and conventional had gone up from 6 7/8 to 7%. FHA is 6 1/4 right now.
So with all of that, there's a lot of confusion, because is the market doing badly because of the whole tariffs thing, or is this just a smokescreen, or do we not know? There's a lot of business owners that are unnerved.
See, the market in Bakersfield is consistent, and I think it's because of affordability. You go to the Bay Area or Southern California, where Jonathan, my son, he lived in Southern California, and we sell homes here, say 400,000 or 500,000, would be 3 to 5 times as much in Southern California.
Is part of that stability of the marketplace, is it because the relationships that you and other business owners here in town have developed? Is that part of the reason why the market's been so stable for so long?
I believe so. I think, Bakersfield, my dad always said Bakersfield's an island. When other cities weren't doing as well, Bakersfield still chug along and would just do fine. And over the years, again, 35 years in the business, Bakersfield's still stable.
How has real estate changed in 1 or 2 sentences or ideas in the last 35 years?
Much more sophisticated than it was 35 years ago. Back, when I first started, we had a lockbox. You stuck a key in it and everything. Now, everything's infrared. You just punch it in with your phone, and you gain access and can tell you how long you've been there, who the agent, the company, everything.
Part of your, or I should say a significant part of your success for the last 35 years is about the relationships you have built and you have developed. And it's not just with the homeowners, but it's also with other business owners as well. And describe how, well, first of all, what is the state that you try to achieve with a lot of your other business owner colleagues?
Well, one, we deal with a lot of different business owners. Could be roofers, could be carpet, people, companies. It could be painters. Just so many different, like appliance stores, what have you, and you develop these relationships. And then when they have the consistency of doing business with the agents, then they're stable too, because they have a consistency market.
How do you build that relationship?
It was hard. A lot of times when you first got into they didn't know who you were. They didn't know if they could trust you or not. Now we have a reputation where I ask for something to be done, and it's done, knowing that it's finished, knowing it's going to be billed out of escrow. And they know it's going to close. So before that, we really need to learn about you, Busby. So,
Right.
yeah.
How did you break the ice?
Time. It took time. I had to prove myself to people. Show up on time. Just be there. You know, whenever you would meet a contractor, be there on time, and just be upfront. If something looked like it was going to go in a different direction, tell them.
Right.
Don't hold back.
Right.
And that's the one thing about Bakersfield. If you treat people good, they tell their friends, and they'll tell 4 or 5 people. If you mistreat them, they'll tell 14 plus people. And Busby is an old name in Bakersfield.
Right.
My mom was Echeverry, which is Basque, so that's helped out
Right.
over the years, yes.
Now, I have to confess, before we started taping, we were talking with your son, who is here, and I asked him about, did he learn real estate at the kitchen table when he was 3? And he said, no. It's when I was 7, because I go to the grocery store with Dad to go get a gallon of milk, and 2 hours later we were home because you'd be talking to people. And this is the kind of relationship that you build with people.
Yes.
First of all, how do you build that?
My wife and I, we were at the fairgrounds, and I kept getting stopped, and people kept asking real estate related questions. And she said, why do you can't go somewhere and they don't ask you? I said, you want them to. I said, you want them. And I enjoy people. That's a good part of Team Busby's success is, you know, my staff too. We care about the person. We care about the end result. It's not just, hey, I'm going to sell it and make X, Y, Z. That's not ever been the case. Matter of fact, the 2 buyer partners that I have, I told them, if you sell with your heart, you don't have to worry about your pocketbook, because you sell with your heart, your pocketbook's going to grow. And they live that and breathe that. My son John, that same thing. If it's not good for you, we're going to tell you. And I think over time that spreads out. It just mushroom effect.
Give us an example of how you've gone through this process. And because you were talking off camera beforehand about an elderly couple that you were selling a business to and the reaction that they had. Retell that story about how that worked out.
You know, a lot of your elderly, there's people that take advantage of them. And this elderly couple, they had this home, and one of these guys investors that they flip homes, contacted them and told them their home was worth $65,000 to $75,000. What they had done, they had taken comparables that were dated years earlier and gave them, and the elderly couple, they didn't look at it. They got our name, they called and they said, "Could you come out and look?" I told them their house was worth between $190,000 to $210,000. And they thought I was kind of like, okay, really?
You're pulling my leg, right?
Yeah, because the investor told them 65 to 75. Well, they called back. The investor changed their offer to $135,000, still a huge margin.
Right.
And she called back. She said, "Do you think I should sell it to them?" And my comment was, if you want to lose $75,000, that's up to you.
Right.
They listed with Team Busby. We put it on the market. We get a phone call right away as soon as the sign had gone up. And the gentleman said, "I'm going to buy it. I'll pay $210 cash." And we're thinking, yeah, right. He was at our office in an hour, and he showed proof of funds. He bought it. I asked him, "Why did you want that property so badly?" He owned 3 other properties on the same street. So that was his motivation to buy that property. That was $75,000 more in that elderly couple's pocket. And that means a lot to me and my team.
Tell me the story about the sale you made about being 5 minutes early.
It was 10 minutes early.
Okay, sure.
And I'm green as green could be. I'm brand new.
Right.
And my father, he'd always said, get there early. So, elderly man, he called and he says, "I'm interviewing 5 agents." And I said, "Can I come last?" And he goes, "Okay." So I knock on the door He opens the door, he goes, "You got the listing." And I said, "Okay, can I show you what I'm going to do?" He goes, "No. This person was 7 minutes late. This person was 22 minutes late. This person was 31 minutes late. This person was 9 minutes late." He had it written down.
Wow.
He said, "You were 10 minutes early. You got the listing." So I learned at an early age, which I knew, show up, be on time. And so
But there's a difference between knowing and doing.
Well, if you knew my father, he's since passed away, but if you knew my father, Jack Busby, you showed up on time.
Yeah.
He would, yeah, it meant a lot to him. Your word was everything. And I have a twin brother, I have an older brother, and our word means everything. That's part of the relationships in Kern County, in Bakersfield, on the outlying areas. We're from Marvin. My dad was a farmer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this story. A lot of people may not remember this name, but it was called Laura Scudder Potato Chips.
Okay.
My dad sold, it was 1 year, he sold his potatoes. He planted early. He sold to Laura Scudder's nephew, Charlie Scudder, on a handshake. There was no contract.
Didn't need one.
And we didn't need one at that time. We went from a 900 square foot house, 4 kids, 2 parents, to a 1,900 to 2,000 square foot home in 1 year on a handshake.
How do you teach that? Because it's one thing, because your father instilled that in you.
Mm-hmm.
Different time than it is now. But at the same time, your son sold real estate down in LA successfully for
12 years.
12 years. And LA is not an easy market to sell in.
No, it's not.
And he's come back to join the family business. And so somehow you've taught him this. And you've also taught other employees in your business. How do you teach relationship building?
It's a standard that I've had and have held for many years. I can tell you right now, I can tell the audience right now, my son, if he says it, it's true. My son will not go back on his word because it's how he was raised with his mom and me.
Right.
My daughter, Jennifer, same way.
I wish there were stories you could tell on camera that you've told me about how you learned that lesson.
My dad was real tough.
Right.
He was very, very tough on us. And we weren't as tough, but we showed integrity. And that means a lot. Some people that doesn't mean. Some people, I don't know your audience, they may.
But sometimes it's really hard. It's really tempting to say, yeah, I can just kind of let that go.
No. Because if you let that go, then you'll let something else go, and you'll let something else go, and you let so then you come from being very successful to mediocre. And I can't do that. He can't do that. My son, who's sitting here right now, he can't do that. He won't do that.
How many real estate agents are there roughly in Kern County?
Last count was right at 1,500, 1,600.
How many sell more than $10 million in property a year?
I'd probably say maybe, I'd have to look. I'm a broker because I can pull it up. I could give you that answer more accurately. But if I had to guess, maybe the first 120 will sell maybe 10 million.
Now, I'm biased, and I would put you in no less than the top 10.
No, we're in the top 5. Yeah.
What makes the difference between being in the top 5 and being in the top 10?
Your word. You pick up the phone. You answer the phone sometimes at 7:30 at night. I got a call Saturday, took care of the problem. Sometimes we get calls. You get calls late. Now, if it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock, no, I'm not going to pick it up. Matter of fact, because I get up early,
right.
I can't. But I'm available, and again, you shoot the truth. There's times when I've seen a lot of the agents, there's a lot of good agents. Mm-hmm. There's some that they cut corners. When they cut corners, cutting that corner bites them in the rear end every time.
You don't want to be the agent that knows that the hot water heater in the basement's bad and it's going to go within the first 60 days.
No. If it's bad, see, here's the thing and you brought up a good subject. I had an older home, and the water heater was an older water heater, and the home inspector said that it's working properly, has reached its life expectancy. I ripped him a new one because it was still operating. They can't call that it's reached its life expectancy and should be replaced. Because that same water heater lasted another 5, maybe 7 years. I sold the house. I talked to the buyer. The buyer, and I had a relationship. We kept talking over water heater stayed there for a long time. And that home inspector called it to be replaced. And it lasted another 7, maybe 8, 9 years.
Now, Visionaries, if you've been watching the main show for any length of time, you know that producer Emily is 180 degrees opposite of me in so many different ways. And, oh, guess what? I forgot the fortune cookie game. See, this is why I've got producer Emily. And if you're not familiar with the way the fortune cookie game works, I have a fortune cookie here in my hand. It is a sealed fortune cookie. I have no idea what the fortune inside of it is. Now, John's going to take this fortune cookie, unseal it, crack open the fortune cookie, and read the fortune. And at the end of the fortune, add "in my business" and elaborate. Let's see what it comes up with as.
Well.
And your fortune is?
I have to get my glasses. I have to get my glasses to read it. It says here, you will overcome difficult times in my business. And, which is a good one because you do have difficult times. And over the years, I've had people that we've sold properties to, and they said it was so smooth and easy and effortless that we got into the business. 6 months, 8 months later, this isn't as easy as it looks.
Right.
And it's not. And because there's times that you can be threatened, could be legal threats, you just don't know. And in 35 years, I've been to court, I think 4, maybe 5 times. And it was getting the seller the deposit that the buyer was not entitled to. And I love that record because I went into one, it was substantial. And I had all my documentation, my I's dotted, my T's crossed, and the judge even said, why are we here?
Right.
And so
congratulations.
Those are the things that an experienced agent, what they bring to the table. And
what do you tell yourself when things aren't going well?
I always look at it, did I do something wrong? If I did, how can I change it? And it seems to work. The part that I love about real estate is the negotiations. I love the negotiations. And sometimes they'll look at the price and they'll look at, I only want you to make XYZ dollars, realtor. And my question is, how much do you want to make at the end when it's all said and done? And when it's all said and done, I guarantee a seller, they will make more with Team Busby. My son Jonathan and myself, we're the only ones that negotiate. It's not the buyer's partners or the administrative staff. We do the negotiations, and we just know how to get it done in a way that is beneficial.
And now, it's time for producer Emily's segment. And this is going to be great fun because she is a whole 180 degrees opposite of me in so many different ways. And so now it's time for questions by Emily.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I've got questions, and if you've got questions, feel free, drop them in the chat. We have YouTube open right now, and we'll make sure to ask them to John. And before I get started, though, we have the Casdor Consulting ad. And Questions by Emily is sponsored by Casdor Consulting Group. Hunting for top-tier talent for your business? Look no further than Casdor Consulting Group. Their mission is to deliver world-class staffing and direct hire services by truly listening to your needs. At Casdor Consulting, it's not just about filling positions, it's about creating a culture of mutual success for both candidates and clients. With unmatched customer service and a commitment to earning your trust, they're redefining the staffing industry one placement at a time. Ready to experience the future of staffing? Visit CasdorConsultingGroup.com or call them at 877-800-4622. That's CasdorConsultingGroup.com or 877-800-4622. And our first question is a bit of a doozy, but it comes from Eva, and are you ready for this?
Sure.
It's a mouthful. Okay. What advice or encouragement would you give to younger generations, especially Gen Z, who, in light of the current economy and the increasing gap between housing or household income and the housing market, feel a certain kind of hopelessness towards the idea of ever owning a home, despite their desires or best efforts?
Every market's different. This is a difficult market. But if you take David Ramsey,
yes.
he talks about just different ways of saving and what have you. You save and save and save, and you put monies away. There's different loan programs for first-time buyers. There's just different loan programs. And again, we can call us and we can put you in contact with a lender that has these different type of loan programs. But the key is you put money away. I was blessed that I'm a saver, and I would put money away, put money away, put money away. And back then, I shouldn't even say this, but my first house, I put the down payment, it was on a credit card.
Oh, wow.
And you can't do that today.
No.
But I bought my first house on a credit card, the deposit. Made the payments, worked really hard, had excellent credit. So watch your credit. Don't go out and buy $60,000, $100,000 to $100,000 car. Drive a nice car, dress well and everything, but put money away, because when you own your home, there's nothing like that. They can't tell you, I'm selling the house, I'm going to have to start an eviction if you don't want to move out. Here's a notice. You avoid all of that.
Okay, so what would you say then? A lot of people think tariffs are rising, which means that household goods, clothes, electronics, everything's going to rise, and then, I've still got to save money, but I'm not increasing in my income yet. How do you balance that with this younger generation who really wants to move forward in life, but they kind of feel like their hands are tied?
Okay. I think the tariffs in the near future, 3 months, maybe 6 months tops, I think you're going to see a lot of countries coming to the United States and saying, okay, we want to meet you in the middle. We don't want to have as much tariffs because we don't want you to tariff our country. And I think you're going to see a blend. I truly do. I think that some of the abuse has been from some of these countries where their tariffs have been crazy. Yes, we got the product, inexpensive, but I think you're going to see it change. Give this administration 6 months and watch what happens, because I think you're going to see is zero tariff, where it's going to be equal trading, and you'll be fine.
That sure would be nice.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
And that's really encouraging too,
Yes.
especially to this next generation.
But give it time. All the free trade, everything, where companies had gone to other countries and they did that. Now you have people unemployed here. They're going to come back. You're going to see employment. See, people didn't see the 60s and the 70s. And I have the advantage where I saw that. So I know what can happen. These industries, the auto industry and everything, back in the United States.
So would you say right now, for the next 6 months, it's a seller's market or a buyer's market?
It's a blend. It's a blend. Somebody asked that the other day, wanted to know if it's still a seller's market. It was a seller's market for so long. It's a blend now. If it's not priced correctly, if it doesn't show well, because we have inventory. And the inventory is, if the house isn't clean and neat and priced correctly, I'm going to go find one that is.
I see. And what are some things that homeowners can do? Because people are always selling. What are some things that they can do right now to their house that could really increase the market value?
Thinning the house. I can't say that enough.
Thinning?
Jonathan and I walk in, thin the house out, because they have a lot of stuff, if you will, in the house. Leave some pictures up, but take some of them down. Thin the rooms. Some of them, they're overbearing with furniture. Thin it out. We rented a storage when we sold our house, and we put a lot of furniture and different things into the storage, and it makes the rooms feel larger. And if it needs touch-up paint. If it needs carpet, do that. That's the least expensive, highest return.
So it's okay to get a storage unit for a couple months.
Of course.
And cram it, even
Sure.
if it's your great-grandma's dresser,
Sure.
but not everybody needs to see
That's
it.
true.
What about personal photos? I've heard mixed reviews on that one.
That's the mixed views on that. I had one, it was a while back, that had a nice portrait of the family. And Mrs. Seller was going to take it down. I said, leave it up. That's a nice portrait. And they had other family pictures. I said, you can take a third of them down. And so again, it was thinning. And I think the second or third party that came through purchased it, and they were a family and they liked that home. They're going to look at the floor plan.
Yeah.
They're going to look at the, obviously the backyard, the neighborhood, schools. There's a lot of variables for buyers to decide on purchasing a home.
What are the top 3 things a seller is looking for, and what are the top 3 things a buyer is looking for?
First thing sellers looking for is price. They want to get, and that's why we're real sensitive to the marketing. You could price it too high, where what happens, it stays on the market, becomes stale, and then the buyer's agent will say, what's wrong with it? Why hasn't it sold? Let's write a lower offer. So you can bite yourself in the rear end. I tell people, get people through the front door. That's what you want. So, Jonathan
Bake
and
the
I,
cookies and make it smell nice.
they smell nice, but clean and neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, clean and neat. Buyers, most of them, they want turnkey. They want to walk in. They don't want to have to replace carpet and paint and do all the things and so if they do, and it's going to cost, say, $10,000, they'll write it for $30,000 less.
Okay, that makes sense. And then on the business side of things, I'm sure you guys help your buyers and sellers through that. But what stands your company out as a top 5 versus top 10 or top 1,500, you said?
1,500 plus.
Yeah, 1,500 plus. What is it that you think has gotten you guys to the top, and what sets you apart as a leader? Because you have to be able to bring people alongside you at some point to get to top 5, I would assume.
Oh, we have a great staff. We've got people that have been with us. One lady, she's been with us 25 years. Another lady been with us 23 years. Great staff. When you call, you're going to get a voice, not a voicemail. And we just do real well there because we care.
Yeah.
And then we care about the end result. If it's good, we're going to tell you. If it's not good, we're going to tell you. And that's been a major, major part of our success.
Okay. Michael's giving me the sign. I've got 2 more questions to give you.
Okay.
So I will check the chat though real fast just in case. Oh, we do have another question from Jill who asks, what encouragement would you give to a person looking into becoming an agent?
You want to have training. You want to be able to learn the right way. Right now, and I'm not putting any one company down, but because I don't like to do that, but there's some brokers that they'll get agents and there's no training, and it's like they stumble through, and that you don't want to do that. You want to know, you want somebody that's going to work with you and show you right, wrong contracts, how to fill them out correctly so that you don't make a mistake. You make a mistake in real estate, it's not hundreds, it's thousands.
So the contracts make a big difference.
Big difference.
So what is it about your company that you've allowed your people to be trained in such a way that it limits mistakes?
We would meet and we would go over different subjects. The contract was one of them. This is years ago. We go over the contract, just in negotiating. I've got different verbiage that I have in my counteroffers that protect the clients. We have them for buyers, we have them for sellers. And when you're in the business and you're truly, truly in the business, I've gone to conferences, I've gone to seminars over the years, because I don't want to be just average. Anyone can be average. I've never been average in anything I've ever done.
That's probably the key right there. Yeah. Well, for visionaries who'd like to get a hold of you, how can they?
Okay, if you remember this, 410, like the little shotgun, sell, S-E-L-L. You can be in Egypt. You remember 410 sell? You can call us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I do that right as I'm looking at the pyramids.
Okay.
And any Instagrams or websites?
Yes, we're on Instagram, Twitter. I say Twitter, X.
They changed the name.
Google, where's your Google? Yeah, you can find us. We're there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Visionaires, we had a wonderful episode. Thank you for tuning in today. If you'd like to see more of what we're doing, our episode drops just this Saturday with Daryl Dean Santos of Daryl Santos Insurance Agency. We talked about how to attract new client and prospects face-to-face, and how to build trust in another language. It's a great episode. You should definitely check it out. Until next time, we will see you here on Small Business Celebration.